Hello and welcome to My Security TV. My name's Chris Cubbage and we're at Security 2011 Exhibition and Conference in Sydney. I'm joined by Peter De Ieso from Flir Systems Australia. Peter, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Peter, you're the Distribution Manager, Commercial Systems for Flir. And the motto of Flir we're talking about is infrared everywhere. Can you explain that?
That's right. So Flir is an enabler of getting the technology forward-looking infrared from the military into a lot of commercial applications. So we see ourselves very similar to GPS, how the technology began in the military, but today GPS is in our phones, cars, boats. Flir is doing the same thing what GPS has done to that technology with thermal imaging. So the company began by manufacturing high-cost, low-volume airborne gimbal products, but today they manufacture a lot of volume, lower cost products in different market segments. So security is one of them, transportation. The Flir camera is now being sold to car manufacturers like BMW, Audi, Rolls-Royce. They see it as a safety airbag feature, having thermal imaging to be able to detect pedestrians that move in front of the vehicle. We also sell our cameras today in the maritime industry, so carriers like Sydney Ferries. I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago, they ran over a leisure craft, a few people died. So as a result, they've all been fitted with Flir cameras. That gives them nighttime capability. Brisbane Ferries, they ran over a roller not too long ago. Radar takes a bit of skill to be able to operate, but it's a very natural thing to be able to look at a screen and pilot a boat forward. Also, we've got a lot of other applications like law enforcement, handheld units, in the building industry, condition monitoring, taking temperature measurements. So Flir began in the military, but there was three myths that we've got at the moment, and that is that the technology is very expensive, it's heavily regulated, and it's for the military. But today we've known the opposite, so prices have come right down. As our volumes are increasing, the pricings continue to come down.
Flir is introducing a new product, thermal fence. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. So thermal fence came about because we've known for many years, in order to detect outdoors, we've been using CCTV cameras or visible light cameras. But the problem we have with that is when we've got lower contrast images and we have colors, a wide angle lens, and people are very small in the distance, the software writers have found it very difficult to try and lock onto those smaller objects, especially at night time where we need to try and illuminate a very large area. So for us, it was a very natural thing to be able to offer a thermal imaging detector that requires no lights at all. All we require is something like about 80 pixels on the target, so we could have a very large area that we can cover, be able to detect a person during the day, at night time, also under some adverse weather conditions as well. So the software programmers really like Flir cameras because they can create a sense of predictability on how the algorithms are working. So we're producing this very high contrast image. We've got this white person on this black background. So from the software point of view, it's fairly easy to lock onto that.
So it must be easier for the end user to view the thermal imaging on screen?
That's right. In a security control room, if you look at all the screens, the images are very busy. Now, if I gave you a whole bunch of video alarms, you'll be looking at those images and you'll be thinking, what is going on here? Is that a police officer? Is he wearing a hat? And then the security control rooms don't really want the operators to make the incorrect call. So for thermal imaging, all we're doing is detecting. There's a person there, it's one person, it's two people, they violated the perimeter, they're within the area, ring the police, ring the guard, there's a course of action. But with a visible light camera, we tend to bombard the operator with too much information.
Peter, you've got the thermal fence in the new product section of the conference. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And good luck with Flir. Thanks very much for coming on.